Hi guys, my name is Kayode Ademi. In this video, we'll actually take you through how to create resources on one of my favorite cloud platform, which is AWS, using Pulumi. So Pulumi is an infrastructure as code tools that helps engineers to actually create or provision resources on the cloud. So um, one of the supported cloud platform is AWS, GCP, and Azure. So as a software engineer, with your programming language, you could actually create resources on AWS easily using your programming language knowledge, and also it helps you to collaborate easily with other engineers in the team, or if you are working with a DevOps engineer that actually have some programming knowledge, um, so you could actually collaborate easily. So the benefit of this is, let's say for instance, the engineer is actually busy with other activities or other tasks in the company or in the team. So with your knowledge, having the knowledge of any of the cloud platform, you could actually use your programming knowledge to, with the support of Pulumi, to create resources on any of supported cloud platform like AWS, GCP, Azure, and, and others. So let's go back to my VS Code and let's try to provision the resources um, on AWS. So to start with, the command to create a new Pulumi project is Pulumi new, then the programming language name. In my case, I'm using TypeScript, which runs on Node. So on the backend side, you run on Node.js. So um, that is that. So I've actually created some file here. So let me delete it and start this project from scratch. Um, yeah. So let's go with the default name, project name. Could actually enter a name here. So I'm going with this. Yeah. Um, good. So what stack or environment am I creating? Dev. Creating this in dev. So which package manager I want to use? npm and yarn, bun, and so on. So I'm using npm. So yeah, my dependencies or packages are getting installed. So let's give it some time while that is going on. So let me just take you through some of the benefit of Pulumi. So this is Pulumi. Pulumi is an infrastructure as code tools that help software engineers to create provision resources on a supported cloud platform like AWS, GCP, and Azure. So what are the benefit of Pulumi? Pulumi help software and DevOps engineer to collaborate effectively. For example, if the engineer has some knowledge about cloud platform like AWS, GCP, Azure, however, does not know how to use the popular tools like Terraform HCL. So Terraform HCL is like a programming language for Terraform, right? So with the knowledge gap of HCL, some engineer might find it difficult to actually write code that they could actually use to provision resources. But with their programming knowledge, they can use Pulumi to create resources on any of the supported cloud platform. Yeah, so that is that. And for the DevOps guys, some DevOps comes from the software engineering background. So this makes collaboration very easy for them. So why you should use Pulumi? As a software engineer, it's easy to learn Pulumi, right? Pulumi integrates easily with CI/CD pipeline like GitHub, Jenkins, and so on. So with Pulumi actually enforce rules like no public STL bucket. It's security and compliance. Pulumi has strong support for Kubernetes. With Pulumi, you could actually write your unit test and integration test easily with your knowledge of programming. So Pulumi also use Stack. So Stack is more like an environment where it helps you to separate different configuration like state file code and config easily, why each of these code are isolated by their environment. So that's one of the great things about using Pulumi. Pulumi supports many cloud provider like AWS, GCP, and so on. Pulumi supports secret management. Secrets are not shown in plaintext in state file. For other infrastructure as code tools like Terraform, you have to depend on third party to actually help you to manage some secret and sensitive data. However, with Pulumi, Pulumi handles secret natively, which means most of it are actually encrypted at first. So yeah, so these are the differences between Pulumi and Terraform. So like what we've explained. So I just tried to break it down separately so that you can actually grasp this easily. I'll be adding a link to this PowerPoint in my video on my GitHub where I'll be pushing the code. Yeah, so these are the differences. Like for Terraform use modules. However, for Pulumi with strong component or OOP knowledge, you could actually have some components whereby it can be reusable throughout your code. Or so in my coming video, I will actually explain how to do this in my Pulumi project. I'll explain how to go about this in my Pulumi project, and also for Terraform, I'll explain this how to use these modules. Then also I'll explain how to use secret, how secret are encrypted, then different stacks, and the ecosystem for Pulumi is actually growing, so there's not much support like of Terraform because Pulumi, I can say it is relatively new. So as an engineer, you can also look into the ecosystem and yeah, could contribute to it. So that is that of that. So by default, right? So when you create a new project on Pulumi, so the default resources is S3 in most cases. So here now we don't have any S3. So let me do that. It's so I have an IntelliSense where I use most of them to write my code. Yeah, so let me export this. No, I'm not doing this. So I'm not doing this. Let me give this a name, right? So let's give it Pulumi lesson bucket. Yeah, so let's do this. So let's print this instance bucket name, right? So this will print the bucket name on the terminal. So what else is missing? Let's see. Okay, Pulumi AWS is missing. So let me install that. Yeah, install Pulumi AWS. So that will be added into my dependencies. So let's give it some time, please. All right. I've actually installed Pulumi AWS. Okay. I guess that should be all for packages installed or dependencies installed. So let's create S3 Pulumi up. So the dash yes is an approval flag, whereby I don't have to enter yes or no for me to provision these resources. So Yeah, so it's going on. Some plugins are getting installed. Sometimes it takes time. So let's wait for it to install. Let's go to our Pulumi documentation. So this is the code to actually create a bucket. So you can leave this, you can go through the code um, and get understanding of how to use any resources. There are lots. So this documentation is getting updated as time goes by. Yeah, so you could actually see the documentation. So this is the documentation. This is Pulumi documentation for AWS. Um, this is an example of how to create an S3 bucket. So let's go back to our code. Put this here. Right. So let me just put some random figures because bucket name is globally unique. So bucket must be globally unique. Yeah. So let me see. I have some error here. So I think this has to do with my setup. Okay, actually enter a parameter that does not exist, which is name. Yeah, I fixed that. I'm just going to documentation. So that is the beauty of going through documentation and not assume things as an engineer. Yeah, thank you, Pulumi documentation. So yeah, we just created a new bucket, right? So let's go to AWS to see for ourselves. Um, the bucket name created. Yeah, so this is the bucket name. So this name have to be globally unique. So we can have the same bucket of the same name. Yeah, so ignore these two. These are for my Terraform code. So this use this to manage states. So nothing much is done in this bucket. No restriction, nothing like bucket policy or um, buckets, lifecycle, and some other configuration, which we always do with S3 buckets. No, nothing much. So basically, we just create a bucket for the benefit of this video. Yeah, so this is just an overview on how to set up a Pulumi code base in TypeScript. The same thing you can do for other programming language. So that is the beauty of Pulumi, using the programming language to create resources on your supported cloud platform. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subsequent video, I will actually go in depth into components and also how to structure your Pulumi code for usability and also for proper grouping of similar file resources, or making your code base look cleaner and easy for other engineers to work with. So so this is a good example. I just give you a quick overview of this. So in my subsequent video, we will go over this. However, for this, I'll push this to GitHub. So then you can have a clear understanding about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't want this video to be too long. I want it to be straightforward and easy to understand. Once again, my name is Kyle Diademi. If you have question, doubts, or any clarification, or you find anything that might look wrong, or anything what I can do to improve on this presentation or the code, please always send me a DM or drop a comment. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video.